And coming up in our News Moms Can Use, we've got a great good news story for you. And you will not believe the honesty of this 81-year-old man who's caught on tape during a very surprising reunion. You won't believe what he says. It might even touch your heart a little bit, too. We've got our friend Angie Austin in the house, courtesy of her show, the Good News Radio here in Denver, or Good News Radio Show, rather, here in Denver.
You were just on there.
I was just on there last week, yeah. And Angie's a friend. She and I used to work at Channel 2 together, and she's fabulous, and people love her. I went to look at something that she posted the other day, and she had, I don't know, something like 475 likes for something she posted. But she is popular.
400, yes.
Yes, absolutely. And so she's coming up in our News Moms Can Use segment. Okay, now it's time for News Moms Can Use because we got Angie Austin.
If you're tired of the same old news,
what more do you want? I want the truth. You're hearing it. Strap yourselves in, folks.
Never fear.
What's the dealio?
Part of life is learning to let things go.
We've got news moms can use.
What was that name again? I missed that.
News moms can use.
Brought to you by Therapon Skin Health, helping moms have healthy, youthful-looking skin for 20 years.
My good friend Angie Austin with the Good News Radio Show right here in Denver. What are you on, Angie? Tell everybody.
I am on two stations. I'm on AM 670 at 1 o'clock, and I'm on AM 810 at 4 o'clock every weekday.
And it's all good news. So every mom out there, listen to Angie's show because it's good, happy, uplifting news.
Well, and you can go, you know what I say, most people can't listen to it all the time when, just at the right time. So on my website, angieaustinradio.com, you'll find any kind of good, positive, show that I've done in the past to listen to.
Very uplifting. Okay, are you mad at me because I've only given you about 8 minutes?
No, that's fine.
You're not mad.
I replayed your clip on my show because I have to tell people that if they don't know the other side of you, there's another side of you that talks about your faith. Yeah. And even though you don't do a faith-based show, it's about moms and, you don't hide your faith. So Jenny came on my show, and her testimony, her story of her life was so touching, of going from the news business and, maybe getting a little full of yourself, and then getting really down in the dumps and depressed and reaching a really low period after your, in postpartum depression period. It was so good. I replayed it on Thursday with a bunch of my favorite stories because it was so touching.
Oh, Angie, you bless me. Can you be my agent as well as having your own radio show, please?
Sure.
Okay.
I can't talk as fast as you do, but I can do a good job.
No one can.
No, that's what they said when you left. Jorge goes, Angie, she talks so very fast.
I know. He's got that wonderful Latin way of speaking, and I do not.
I love him.
Okay, so now I'm kind of worried we won't get to any more of you because we have to play this long soundbite.
Well, I think it's too long to play the whole thing. Play a little bit of it and get out of it when you want because it's a story of two 81-year-olds. They've been separated for 62 years, Jack and Betty. They both got married to other people. They dated all through high school, and he found her on the Internet because 2 months after he graduated, he left for the service, and so she married someone else.
Oh, look at her.
And so their spouses have both died in the last, several years. And so he found her on the Internet, and he's going to visit her. And he's so excited he had to take a Valium, he said.
We'll play a little bit of it, and then we'll come back to you, and you can explain the rest.
I'm going to Dulles to meet my high school sweetheart that I haven't seen in 62 and a half years. I went into service 2 months after I got in. She got married. We've been talking on the phone. We've been emailing. And if it works, I might stay in Virginia and never go back to California. Well, she'll probably take one look at me and say, get the hell on the next plane going back.
Does she look the same as she did in high school?
Oh, no. No, she didn't age that well at all, but I don't care.
She looks totally great. Show Josie.
Ladies and gentlemen, your flight crew start our descent into the Washington, D.C. area.
Oh, God. I'm calmed down. I took a Valium before I got on a plane. I was so nervous. Boy, we're almost there. Wow. Oh, my God. stay in a motel for a couple of nights because their daughters are there and the rooms are all full. That ain't gonna last.
He is so excited, and it takes a while to find her, and they're both in wheelchairs.
Yeah.
So they finally maneuver their way outside. He's getting pushed by one of the airline guys, and of course, this filmmaker just happened to sit next to him on the plane.
Yeah.
So she just gets this great story, like by chance. And you and I wouldn't. Well, you'd get it, but I wouldn't because I don't really talk to people on the plane.
I know, you told me that. You refuse to speak to anyone.
Anyway, when they see each other, he's like, let me up, because they're both in wheelchairs. He goes over and kisses her, and then he says she looks good. Because she said when she sent her picture, he said you didn't age very well. But in person, he says she looks really good. So as they go around the corner, they reach and they show them wheeling away and leaving after they've kissed 10 times.
Oh!
And he reaches over and they hold their hands as they're being wheeled in their wheelchairs, down the ramp.
Off into the sunset holding hands.
Yeah, it was really sweet.
And Ange, the last thing we heard him say before we came back to you was something about having to stay in a hotel, but that's not going to last.
Yeah, I love that the daughters are staying there, but he says he may never go back home.
Yes.
So I just thought it was a beautiful thing to reunite after all that time. The way he kept kissing her, it was like they were still in high school. It was so sweet.
Yeah, we've got about 2 minutes left. Just tell people why you do this show and cover stories like that. Why this is your life's purpose at this point.
I think a lot of people fall down in life and they don't know how to get back up. And I think when they hear the good news and they hear inspiring stories and other people who've overcome things like your story last week, I just think that it gives them hope. And they think, wow, if she got over that or he went through this or that, then I can certainly get through my day. And I think that on my show, we oftentimes talk about how God can help you through the rough times.
Yeah.
And you hear stories of people who, they've been in prison, they've been homeless, they've been heroin addicts, and some maybe just a mom that's had some difficult situations in raising her kid or her child got really sick, just normal day-to-day problems. And so I just think people get inspired by it. And then we joke around a lot and have fun, too, as I've got great producers that I have a good time with, too. So it's fun to be able to cover any story I want and to laugh whenever I want. Because in the news business, you work with certain people that don't want you to have a good time. Well, it's not all about the bad news. You can actually laugh. We do it in our regular day-to-day, when the doctor's operating on you, they laugh sometimes and talk about real life.
Exactly.
Why can't when you do the news you still laugh and be a real person? So that's what I do.
Kudos to you, dear. I'm so impressed and blessed by what you do because the world needs you. And Angie, you're a big hit. I go look at your Facebook. You've got thousands and thousands of people that love you because you're giving them good news. So thank you.
One quick thing that a lot of people hit on my Facebook page last week. My little man, because I only work part-time now because Mom's my main job
30
now.
seconds.
And so my little dude was at school and he was saying that there was a boy that was handicapped. He said he had medical issues. He told me, issues, he said. He's in first grade. Anyway, the little guy, I said, you make sure nobody picks on him, right? He said, yeah. And he said, he always wants to play with me. I said, do you play with him? He goes, yeah, I play with him. I said, you always protect if anyone makes fun of him because he's real tiny. The little guy's real tiny. And he said, Ma, I don't pick on him. I play with him. He goes, I'm a kind little dude.
Kind little dude. Angie Austin, we got to go. Thank you for being on the show, sweetie.
Thanks, Jess.